Hello machines! It's gradually getting warmer in Ishikawa Prefecture in Japan. It's the season of cherry blossom and we are looking forward to sakura mochi. It's a Japanese sweet. Well, today I would like to introduce a technique to further combine the process into one machine. Let's have fun with it. The term multitasking is often used to mean combining turning and milling operation into one machine. But these days, it's not just this. There are more and more cases of gear manufacturing with multitasking machine. When making parts, many people don't just machine the gear and deliver it, but use multiple lathe machining and gear cutting machines to make the finished product. Of course, there is an interesting demand to combine the turning and milling and gear cutting into a single machine for greater efficiency. The recent boom in automation is also driving this situation. For example, it's 4 processing machines and combined into one machine. It can be done with 1 robot instead of 4 robots. Even if it does not go as far as robots, it can be automated with a gantry loader and bar feeder. If we have to use 4 robots, I have to think about our world. But of course, these technologies exist because of gear cutting machine. Without evolution of gear cutting machine, there would have been no evolution in multitasking technology. I'm a machine enthusiast, so I love gear cutting machine. By the way, don't you want to see the actual movement? Yeah, we are machining gear on the multitasking machine and multitasking race, but how are they machined? Let's take a look. Hobbing is a process of putting a cutter against a workpiece to produce gears. It's shaped like a dangerous pine cone. It's used to machine the outer teeth. When this is mounted on multitasking machine, it moves like this. Oh, it's interesting. The gear is machined by synchronizing the spindle and the rotary tool, taking into account the gear receiver. Synchronization between the units in multitasking machine is a technology that is supported by evolution of the control system. Moreover, it's very difficult to program such synchronization system from scratch. In fact, it's almost possible. So there is a cycle that everyone loves. The G-code cycle. Yeah, everyone loves? Yes, that's it. And what do even more argument mean? Some of you may think it's hard to look it up with a thick reference book. Yeah, everyone hates it. For such machines, there is also this function. It's called NT Smart Support, and it's an interactive function that allows you to create a program by simply typing information according to the screen. You can complete your program's creation just by typing in the information on the screen. It's very easy. Visualization and require information. This function will be available in future. We will release end of this year. Hob shift. Hob shift is a function that shifts the position of the cutter to the workpiece. This prevents the workpiece from always contacting the cutter at the same position, which has the effect of extending the life of the cutter. This is also interesting technology. So what's the typical structure of multitasking machine? Axis-wise, X, Z, Y axis. Everyone knows that. So hob shift use all of the axes of multitasking machine. With these axes, hob shift can do well. Normally, tool spindle machine use hob shift with X axis, and turret machine use hob shift with Y axis. Yeah, with these axes all together, you can do hob shift. Yeah, what a combination! In helical gears, a single multitasking machine can also be used for helical gears. So it's useful when you want to cut various types of gear workpiece. This is very convenient when you want to machine various types of gear workpiece. It's interesting that the work can be completed in the machine that automates. Whereas normally you want to have to make a various setup and change machine. With multitasking machine, tool can be changed using title indexing and the ATC automation tool change function for tool spindle. So a single machine can be used for various types of gear machining. It's a very flexible, isn't it? Next, I would like to introduce gear skiving. It has an interesting name. The word skiving means to peel off thinly. In gear skiving, the cutter is tilted and has actual angle, and the spindle and tool rotate synchronously. In multitasking machine, the gear skiving is mainly used for the machining internal gears and outer gear. Hobbing cannot be used for the outer gear with a wall near the end of the gear cutting process, like that, and also with the tailstock, like that. So that we use a gear skiving for this kind of process on the outer gear cutting. Yes, how does it work? Yes, G-code actually. The gear skiving seems to be a very difficult process, but it can be done with the G-code, which is similar to hobbing. And yes, anti-smart support is here to help you with the diagnosis. It will be also released in end of this year. All you have to do is put the information according to the screen. When machining with the tool spindle, you need to be careful about interference, but with the recently developed anti-smart cube and ultra-compact tool spindle, the risk of interference can be minimized, even in the while holding the actual angle of tool spindle. In addition, there is also example of machining with the angle holder on turret as a tool spindle. Wow, like this, angle holders are often used for machining slanted hole, but they can also be applied to gear skiving also. Lastly, I'd like to introduce gear milling. This is a method of machining gear by end mill tool. Here, a bevel gear is milled. Although the gear process by milling is time consuming, it's suitable for high mix low volume production because it can be done with a general purpose mill without the need for special cutters. It's a very convenient machining method of one-off product or workpiece prototype machining. Yes, this time we have introduced the basic machining of gears on multitasking machine. There's much more to gear machining that can be done on multitasking machine, but that's all for now. If you are interested to know more, please feel free to write in the comment section. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. See you machinists! Bye!